Say no, just say yes.
So, you guys, Ellen here. I just want to say, I just remembered not only do we have those to carry, but we also have the coffins to carry. Yeah, I need some people to carry coffins.
There are people who are very important for the peace movement that will be speaking here and speaking at the gate. The base is right there, all around you. But we will be marching along the side of the base to another rally. We'll do some people here and some people there. So I'm going to introduce the next speaker, and this is Deborah Sweet, who is the director of The World Can't Wait.
The audience is not only ourselves. The audience is not only the police forces there and the base. The audience really is the rest of humanity. On March 19th or 20th, I was being interviewed by Saudi TV about the 10th anniversary of the war in Iraq. And I began to talk about the destruction of a whole country in our name by our government and what had been done to the people of Iraq. And the man interviewing me stopped. He was crying. He said, "I'm Iraqi. Nobody in Iraq ever hears this. They don't know. They think that Americans all support the destruction of our people. They never hear this." And I told him that when I was a young activist in the 60s, fighting against Vietnam, we had a huge advantage because we had such a big and powerful movement, and we so decisively broke with our government that the people in Vietnam understood the U.S. government was one thing, but the people were another, and that we supported them. And they must see these images across the globe to know that we are not people in support of this utterly illegitimate, unjust, immoral U.S. global war on terror. Rather, to us, American lives are not more important than other lives. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi everybody, my name is Sarah and I'm from Iraq, so it's different. For me, being here is so much different. I cannot say different than all of you, but it's kind of like different kind of feeling because I'm from Iraq. Just seeing this part, all of you, all the people being here just to say we are anti-war, we are against it, it's just kind of, it's very emotional to me because partly Deborah said what I was about to say, which is Iraqi does not know that. They don't know that. I will not generalize. I will not say all of them, but I know that most of Iraqi don't know, and the reality of that, the government is separate than the people, and the people are different, and some of the people are against it and say no to war, and we don't approve of it because Iraqis see American as America, which is wrong, because I see that, and I as a reporter that interviewed Deborah, it's very emotional because we don't know that there's a lot of people against the war and a lot of people saying we are with Iraqi people, and I just hope that Iraqi who can see and can listen to all of you. It's kind of hard because of the media and what they want us to know and what they want to show us, and it's all over. It's everywhere. It's the same as the media here in the United States. They don't show you what Iraqis think and what we really are now after the war. I just believe that the only answer for everything is peace. Yes. And this is yay. I believe that there is no war that will solve anything. it's only gonna mess everybody. It will mess us inside without knowing. Just being in a war zone and just seeing people being killed and seeing the sadness in the faces, in Iraqi faces. When you walk in the streets, you know that we are a wounded country. You see it in the faces of people, of ordinary people, like people that living now there and trying to live and trying to cope with everything, which is just sad. And I hope that everybody understand there and here. The government, which is, I don't think they will ever understand governments, what we want to say, what we have to say, because they just live in another universe, I guess. We are anti-war. We don't want to do anything. We don't need that much police officers waiting for us to do something stupid, because we will not do it. We're just peaceful human beings trying to convey a message and trying to make people hear us and understand what we want, which is peace.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for your words. Thanks for being here. Our next speaker, Bruce Skagman. Among many other things, Bruce is the coordinator of the Global Network Against Weapons and Nuclear Power in Space. Between 1983 and 1998, Bruce was the state coordinator of the Florida Coalition for Peace and Justice, and he's worked on space issues for 30 years. He initiated the campaign to bring our war money home in Maine in 2009, and it spread to other New England states and beyond. So, welcome, Bruce.
It's a great honor to be here with all of you. I've been following these protests from afar for some time, and I'm just thrilled to be here with you. Today, when we reach the gate, a group of us from Veterans for Peace, what we call the Veterans Peace Team, is going to stand and read the names of children from Pakistan who have been killed by these drone strikes. This is the real terrorism. You know, when we hear about Boston and we hear about how wrong it was to kill innocent people, isn't it equally wrong? Isn't it equally dark and evil for us to do the same thing in Pakistan and Afghanistan and now on the African continent? And shouldn't we resist all forms of terrorism? Because isn't our killing as much of terrorism as anybody else's?
Our next speaker is Marilyn Levin, who was a longtime anti-war civil liberties and Palestinian solidarity activist. She's from Boston. She came here with a carload, a couple of people, groups of people from Boston.
Today, as you know, drones are the face of modern warfare, both at home and abroad. Lethal drones ruthlessly kill families in Afghanistan and in countries we are not even at war with, Pakistan, Yemen, and Somalia. Our godlike assassinator-in-chief decides who will be assassinated anywhere and anytime. And at the same time that drones are invading our skies for criminal and safety surveillance, but we know that often, as we saw in Boston under martial law after the marathon bombings, that we, the people, engaged in peaceful activities in our home, are treated as the criminals. And even if drones are not armed today in our skies, once they become part of the militarized police force, I guarantee they will be. Our call today is for no killer drones and no spy drones. Let's hear it. No killer drones and no spy drones. No killer drones and no spy drones. But drones, by land, sea, or outer space, are just the technology and tools that are used for war and for repression against us, the dissenters, working people, particularly people of color, immigrants, Muslims, and many, many others. And at the same time that we are protesting the use of drones, we must not forget the multiple wars the U.S. is waging today, not only those, but also the threats of war and aggressive acts that the U.S. is conducting against many other countries. Spy drones routinely fly over Iran and Syria, as preparations for future military actions. This is on top of crippling sanctions, which is already an act of war. Nuclear armed bombers are sent as dangerous provocations to North Korea. A drone base is placed in Niger to possibly target Mali and other African countries. We must not forget the reason that the U.S. is an imperialist power acting in the economic, political, and military interests of the ruling wealthy elite, and that their aim is to dominate and control the wealth and limited energy resources of the world.
Mark did his alternative service as a conscientious objector in Lebanon, living and teaching in Beirut from 1967 to 1974. On behalf of FOR's international work, he travels regularly to Colombia and Iran and throughout the Middle East. Thanks, Mark.
We gather to speak truth to power and to offer love as a response to hatred and violence. Love in action, love in resistance to empire. We come to this place to symbolize and enact our opposition to the use of power to resolve conflict. We would confront inequity and intolerance and injustice with equity, tolerance, and justice. We're here to be the voice of reason and the voice of anger and rage. We are the voice of God on earth, God's instruments of peace, the voice of the planet, the voice of the people, face to face, heart to heart. Alicia Godsberg is the Executive Director of Peace Action of New York State. Peace Action represents over 4,000 New Yorkers across the state working for nuclear abolition and moving the money from weapons and wars to our communities. This is Alicia Godsberg.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks, everybody, for being here and inviting me to speak, and to the organizers of this amazing rally. I'm looking out at you all, and I'm reminded 2 summers ago, I was standing on the top of a van in front of Futenma Air Force Base in Japan on Okinawa, talking to some labor activists and some Japanese activists about that aspect of U.S. empire and how that wasn't wanted there either. And this is a very familiar looking rally, so you guys have company around the world. I just want to say, I want to express I don't know what the right word is, my outrage, my heartfelt disappointment, my anger at the fact that our allegedly constitutional scholar president has decided that he can wage wars without going through proper constitutional measures by dropping bombs in Yemen and Pakistan, countries that we're not at war with, by targeting and killing American citizens without due process. It's outrageous. We need to keep protesting. We need to be out there. Being against drones and militarized drones was not always getting attention, was not always popular as a position, and it's getting more so. People are understanding what's going on. People are waking up to the truth about what drone strikes are doing around the world, not only killing innocent people and making things harder for Americans and just being an absolutely horrible instrument of war and surveillance coming to the skies above you any day now. I know in New York City it's on the way. So I want to encourage you to take positive actions like we're taking today, but also remind you that even though your government is unresponsive and you think it might be moribund and kind of a waste of your time, it isn't. People are beginning to listen to this message. You need to get on the phone, you need to talk to your friends and encourage people to call your senators, call your representatives, call the White House and tell them how you feel. The more people that do that, the more they hear from you, the more they're moved. You think it doesn't matter, but it does. They read the letters to the editor. Their staff reads the opinion pages. If you say their name, they're going to read it. You have to get your message out there and affect change. And I want to say that it works, so don't be discouraged. We're here together and we can make a difference. Thank you.
So I want to talk a little bit about this new technique they developed called order of protection. Well, that's a senior moment there. The order of protection. This is a technique which about 20 of us have had. Anybody who gets arrested today will have one slapped on them. It changes the penalty from 15 days to a potential 7 years. This is a misuse of a very important law for one purpose. It's designed to deny our First Amendment right to petition the government for redress.
That's right. That's right.
It's also designed to keep the government from being embarrassed. They have told us today that if we are seen from a base, we will be arrested. Now, they have also telling us we do not have face paint. That has to do with concealing our identities, and it has to do with the order of protection. So anybody who has an order of protection, probably if you wear a mask or you're arrested, they can find out who you are. I want to make a point. They are scheduled to come and arrest us, and they can be very irritating. They can be very kind of scary. So don't lose your cool. Don't harass the police. I suggest we use a chant. I suggest if they do that, we just chant, "Arrest the war criminals. Arrest the war criminals.
Arrest the war criminals.
Arrest the war criminals." So that will be our technique if they come into our crowd to arrest us. Let me go on. Those of us who have visited areas that are targeted by drones know the terror that drone creates. We know that drones commit war crimes. We are telling the world that they are committing war crimes and murder on the other side of that gate, and that they are arresting us on this side for disturbing the peace. Are you okay with that? No! We pay for drones to kill innocent combatants. Are you okay with that? No! Our drones are killing women in their homes. Is that okay? No! Our drones are killing children. Is that okay? No! Our nation has become infected by a pernicious and terminal disease called empire. Let me call upon you with Dr. King's words. Dr. King said, "These are times of real choices, not false ones."
We will return to our communities and continue our work to end Reaper assassination, civilian killing, and other such acts of state terrorism. It is so ironic, our commitment to nonviolence, in contrast to our government's commitment to the use of violence as a means of international foreign policy. Despite that irony, let's use it as a strength, a source of strength. I want to tell you 3 rules to have in your head today, and this follows what Elliot said about the police perhaps coming into our space. Number 1, act with respect to everyone. Even if you see someone being manhandled, you must deal in your voice and your manner in a respectful way. That's number 1. Number 2, no running. Running is like the red flag to a bull. Do not run. And number 3, this is sometimes the most important of all, under no circumstances put any part of your body onto that of a police officer. Do not touch a cop, ever, anywhere, anytime, and especially in this kind of circumstance.
Russell Brown, why don't you come up and do your poem? Russell has been a member of Veterans for Peace since he returned from Vietnam. Currently, he works in Buffalo with Veterans for Peace and Western New York Peace Center.
I am the limbs of the children killed by the drones, gathered from the broken trees. A sad, frightening fruit, an alien among its own, hands that once clapped, faces that laughed, legs that have forgotten their dances, now too common in Yemen and Pakistan. The limbs are scattered across the land, Somalia, the Philippines, and Afghanistan. Toes without feet, removed from their resting places, not rubble, in the rubble, among the broken homes, missing children, missing spouses. Scattered limbs in shattered homes, rocks and sticks and fingers, an eye that stares at you but cannot see. All is breathless at the sight. Pieces of children, a very quiet ear, all alone in the night. A finger that can do nothing but be the missing finger of a tiny child that Michelle will never meet as she sleeps beside the Severa.
The intention for this next leg of the demonstration is to do this solemn funeral procession, which we have people lined up behind you in this black shawl, and with it, people have coffins for all of the countries that we have used drones in. We also have coffins, one for the UN Charter and one for the US Constitution.
She's a song singer from Central New York and a social change artist. This is Colleen.
Take those drums, tear them asunder, tear them asunder, turn them into plowshares, turn them into plowshares. Take those tools of murder and plunder, take those tools of murder and plunder. I don't want them in the air, I don't want them in the air. You've been working on your warfare. You've been working on your warfare for centuries of time. For centuries of time. All your weapons get you nowhere. All your weapons get you nowhere. No peace do you find, and no peace do you find. What peace has been won? What peace has been won? Where's the space between wars? Where's the space between wars? Who is left to gather? Who is left to gather the blameless body? When you strike the mother's door, when you strike the mother's door, the silent killer's up there stalking. Silent killer's up there stalking. Neath the perfect storm of ignorance, neath the perfect storm of ignorance. Who is questioning? Who's talking? Who is questioning? Who is talking? Where apathy has no defense. Where apathy has no defense. Calling all people out. Calling all people of this country to resist the death machine. To resist the death machine. For its reach knows no boundaries. For its reach knows no boundaries and respects no liberty. And respects no liberty. Take those drones and turn them into plowshares. Oh, turn them asunder. Take those drones, tear them asunder. Tear them asunder. Turn them into
taking arrests by standing over that yellow line. So you better get over there unless you want to find a shelter. Just keep on.
Yeah, you gotta stay off the yellow line.
Jack Barnes. In Syracuse, New York, the home of Hancock drone base, we're having very large, with 400 or 500 people that are here to challenge the U.S.
Gosh. Social justice, I guess that's saying out there, but not going to rush here.
Stuck in here. Let me see if she'll follow you. Okay. Stretch forward, follow. That's a good girl. Follow.
Do you know Todd Sadler?
Yeah.
Yeah? How's he doing?
I don't know. He lives in this side. I live in Utica.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know Todd. Take it out.
Thank you for coming out to Hancock Air Base today, where they fly the drones from that kill people overseas. We have Kevin Zeese, he's going to talk to us. Kevin is the co-director of It's Our Economy. He's an attorney who's been political activist since graduating from George Washington Law School in 1980. He works on peace, economic justice, and criminal law reform and reviving American democracy. Thank you, Kevin.
I'm here today on behalf of Darvish, a 13-year-old male who was murdered by a drone strike. Approximately 400 children have been killed by the drones, 4,000 civilians. We're targeting low-level perceived enemies and doing immense damage to the world and our nation.
This is Ann Wright. 2 years ago we were standing here. We were standing here as the first big protest outside of Hancock Drone Base. We stand up as Americans to show the rest of the world that not all Americans believe in these drones.
Noor Mir is the anti-drone coordinator for Code Pink. She was born and raised in Islamabad, Pakistan. Thank you, Noor.
Hello, everyone. I originally wanted to have this speech towards all of you, but this is my first time at an airbase. I was talking to Rouge, who works with me, and she is from Yemen, and we were walking here, and we said we are so overcome by looking at this fence with these people lined up, staring at us, not saying a word, watching these cars go by, watching people live their lives. And this is where it all happens. So I want us to turn around and address the people standing on that side of the fence, and just say that you need to stop, you need to, how do you sleep at night? Wake up and realize that you are part of a horrible system. We aren't the terrorists. This is not what terrorists look like. You are causing terror. When drones fly, children die. When drones fly, children die. When drones fly, children die. When drones fly, children die.
A friend of ours, she made the connection between, militarism and domestic violence too, and she wrote a song called Woman Nation, so I'm going to sing it. Jolie Rickman, presente. Woman, he treats your body mean. Woman, he treats your body mean. He likes to knock you over chairs and slap you in the face. He's kicking around your children and he's messing up the place. Woman, he treats your body mean. Now, woman, he's the worst he's ever been. Woman, he's the worst he's ever been. He likes to dress you up in lies and rob you of your will. He'll send you to the hospital and stick you with the bill. Woman, he's the worst he's ever been. Woman, to thine own self to be true. Woman, the decision's up to you. If he protects you and he feeds you and he cares about you, why are your rainbow colors turning red and black and blue? Woman, the decision's up to you. Now some people don't think I'm talking about them. Some are self-loving women, some are peaceful loving men. But see, my woman's name is nation, my man's name is state. Let me tell you, lady nation, you've potential to be great. But see, your man is a piece-hating, muscle-bound, salivating, only into money-making, never bringing home the bacon. Taco Bell, cheap date, gambler away your nation's fate, shocking all space invader, missile dicking, masturbator. Nation, he treats your body mean now. Oh, nation, he treats your body mean. He says the only road to peace is the one that leads to war, and he's counting on the women to be mopping up the floor. Now, nation, he's the worst he's ever been. Nation, to thine own self to be true. Oh, now, nation, the decision's up to you. If he protects us and he feeds us and he cares about me and you, why are our rainbow colors turning red and black and blue? I say, nation, say that, nation.
Were you at church today?
Veterans wanted to read the names.
Arrest the war criminals! Arrest the war criminals!
Arrest the war criminals! Arrest the war criminals! Arrest the war criminals! Arrest the war criminals! Not through history. Arrest the war criminals! Arrest the war criminals!
When you join the United States Armed Forces or police,
No announcement was made before we were arrested.
you publicly promise to uphold the United States Constitution. We take
Bravery is displayed here, not there.
Arrest the war criminals!
Arrest the war criminals!
States, the Constitution, and the laws of the United States should be made in pursuant thereof.
Listen up, folks. The folks that are laying in the road, we'll give you an opportunity to get up. Refuse to get up, you're going to be arrested for disorderly conduct and obstruction of governmental administration.
Under the authority of the United States.
Last opportunity to get up.
The supreme law of the land and the judge in every state.
Arrest the war criminals!
Should be bound thereby. Arrest the war criminals!
Someday the world will judge what you're doing here the way they judged the Nazis.
Arrest the war criminals! This clause is known as the supremacy clause because
Arrest the war criminals!
Uphold the Constitution!
The Constitution and the laws of the United States, including
Have you ever read the Constitution?
under the authority of the United States, shall
Take a pledge to defend the Constitution and all the treaties of the United States. We are a lawless nation. If you are law enforcement people, you should complain.
An act of injustice against one is an act of injustice against all.
The preamble to the United States, the UN Charter states.
Oh, here's the biggie.
Purpose is to save
Arrest the war criminals!
war, and it's further, and it's further, and further. All nations shall refrain from the use of arresting the wrong people. Another.
Thank you all for teaching the soldiers about bravery.
This treaty applies both collectively and individually to all those branches of government on all levels. U.S. federal, state, and local government, starting with the executive branch of the United States President and the executive staff, the judicial branch of all judges and staff members of the judiciary, the legislative branch, the members of the United States Armed Forces, and all departments of law enforcement.
Notice the oldest ones are still left. I know.
Uphold the Constitution, which includes Article 6. Take her cane,
Arrest the war criminals!
Arrest the war criminals!
Arrest the war criminals!
Arrest the war criminals!
Arrest the war criminals! Is this what you got to do to your grandmother? Is this?
Arrest the war criminals!
You just arrested a freedom rider!
Arrest the war
Got to go. We say the drones have got to go.
Arrest the war criminals! Arrest the war criminals! Arrest the war criminals! Arrest the war criminals! Arrest the war criminals!
Arrest the people that are doing the killing! Arrest the people that are doing the killing!
Arrest the war criminals!
Arrest the killers! Arrest the killers!
Good for you, Packy.
Arrest the war criminals!
Arrest the war criminals!
Arrest the war criminals!
Arrest the killers!
Arrest the war criminals!
Arrest the war criminals!
Arrest the war criminals! Arrest the war criminals!
Where to?
Veterans for peace!
They didn't do anything with Valerie? Oh, they're coming for Valerie now?
These people serve this country. You are not.
Shame! 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 Read your Constitution!
You are in handcuffs! Arresting your brothers and sisters! These are true patriots!
We love the vets! 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 We hate the drones! We love the vets! We hate the drones! We love the vets! We hate the drones!
Thank you. Now, what happens to them after the arraignment? We don't have any control over the judge may set bail. We're not sure about that. But we know the judge is going to be able to know which court. Okay. So, this should be allowed. For what it's worth. Yes, I made the quote for her too. She's a sweetheart. She is. You're very fortunate to have her. Oh, that's good to hear. Thank you very much.
So, if you want to take part in another demonstration soon, that'll be on Mother's Day.
Individuals who were arrested and went to the sheriff's bus over there will be taken to the Onondaga County Jail, also called the Justice Center, 500 State Street. They'll be booked, fingerprinted, and likely released today on an appearance ticket. Okay, the individuals who were arrested for violating an order of protection, and I believe those are the people that went that way after they were arrested, will be taken to the town of DeWitt for arraignment, and it will be up to the judge as to whether or not they go to jail tonight. It's probably likely that they would.